Welcome to SparkTO. Meet the speakers who are sparking conversation at Spark the Change Toronto. Hello and welcome to Spark the Change. My name is Elizabeth Plouffe and I am part of the organizing team for Spark the Change Toronto for 2017. And I am so pleased to welcome Allison Graham all the way from London, Ontario.
So far the center of progress.
What's that?
The center of progress.
Center of progress. So far.
I love it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
We're very excited because the Resiliency Ninja is part of our program. Part of our, remember, we're recording this for video.
No, that's good. It's out there.
She's part of the speaker lineup. Oh, where did my thing go? For Spark the Change this year. And you are closing out day one.
I am really looking forward to it. I've met the other speakers, so I'm looking as forward to hearing from them. Excuse me. As I'm looking forward to sharing. It's going to be a great day in 2 days.
Going to be a great 2 days, and we're really excited. And so you are our after Nick and Rich person, which is awesome. And then we'll jump right in and just read the description of Allison's talk, and then I'm going to throw it to Allison to describe herself, because I've got your awesome story, but I think it's one that's worth you sharing out loud. It'll make a lot more sense than me just reading it.
Sure.
And how you've become a ninja, I tell you, we need to schedule another conversation because I think we could have a lot to talk about. So how to be a resiliency ninja. Stress, obstacles, and adversity are facts of life. It's as if we're all playing an invisible game of whack-a-mole behind our backs, swatting down one problem just in time for another to erupt. How do you bounce back and succeed no matter what challenges get thrown at you? In this highly relatable and entertaining presentation, now you've put the pressure on, just saying. Allison Graham will share her formula to become a resiliency ninja. And spoiler alert, we are giving away, as part of people coming to Spark the Change, a copy of your new book.
Yay! Yay!
Married my mom and birthed a dog, which we're going to have to chat about that. So it was very cool because on the speakers call that we had on Friday that you referenced, you talked about, which is so true, within the Agile and Change community, we often talk about disruption and all that kind of stuff, but that's a controlled disruption. And what you talk about is the impact of disruption that's outside of your control.
Right.
So if you're on the receiving end in an organization of somebody coming in and saying, okay, we have to do this, 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 you give them the tools to handle that. So talk a little bit about you and how you became a resiliency ninja, and then we'll jump into the other nitty gritty.
Yeah, so it all began in what I call my decade of hell. And,
it's a positive title.
Absolutely. And I think so many of us are going through challenging times in our personal life. And yet we show up in business or at our jobs and we have to keep a smile on our face and pretend like nothing's happening. Yeah. And I was living for this long period of time, what sort of like this on-off existence. So I would be on when I was, doing media interviews or doing my client work and, speaking and consulting. Mm-hmm. And then I would go behind the scenes and I would collapse.
Yeah.
And there was such a judgment that came from that personally. And
so from one type A to another, knuckle bump.
Yep. Here we are. And so I was like, oh, come on, why are you on the couch? And here I have, severe neuropathic pain that I still have today, but I'm really done well at managing now. And I had 6 people in my life who were really important to me die within a very short period of time after my 5th surgery. And then there were these 8 random injuries, like breaks, and not only one of them was my fault. I was texting and walking in wet flip-flops. So I split my toe. It wasn't good. But everything else was random.
What did we learn?
Right. Do not text and walk in wet flip-flops. That's what we learned.
Okay.
That was it. And so there were things like I was doing this team building exercise with NASCARs and I couldn't lift the tire, and I'll tell this story actually at the event. And
so that's going to be interesting.
I'll save the story, but it was this feeling like, that proverbial fan, and it's like, it doesn't have a speed of gentle.
Yeah. I called myself God's hacky sack for a little while.
There you go. So, and I think we all go through times in our life like this, and we're rarely ever having the conversation. And so, we talk about disruption, and a lot of times you're right. It's about, how do we want to disrupt? How do we want to change? What do we want to accomplish and see, and all of that? And then there are these other times when you're like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And how am I going to keep going on my path and succeeding? And especially like me as a pain patient, I've really made it a very, been very focused on not allowing that to become my identity.
Yes, because it can become your story. And
go
ahead. Sorry, I'll bring up the workshop later, but I so identify with what you're saying. Yes, 100%.
Well, and the thing is, and then we become a victim.
Yep.
And I believe in our lives, there is, as things come at us, as challenges happen, that we have a choice. So there are moments, and for me, there were like moments along the path when I could either say, hey, yes, I'm going to allow this, and I'm going to go down and be a victim.
Right.
Go to victimhood and live there and, be comfortable in my sorrows, give up on my dreams.
Which people have done.
Right. And a lot of people do it. Or I'll become what I called a resiliency ninja. And my hope is that by the time we're all leaving the audience or the conference on day one, everybody's going to be fa-chaiing. Okay.
So your exit music could be, and everybody was kung fu fighting. Okay.
Well, and there's that other song, the ninja song, My Inner Ninja.
No.
Yeah, it's great. That's actually a really good theme song. Although I find it harder to dance to, but we'll find it for the conference.
We can hook you up because last year we used the 20th Century Fox dun, da, 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 to let people know that they had to come back into the conference and stuff. So we are really open to musical suggestion.
Okay. Well, I will find the song and send it your way.
Done.
Yeah. So it all went through that. And then I think I got to a point, and people say, okay, well, when did your decade of hell end? And I'm like, well, that's an ambiguous to the fact that it might have ended.
You're implying that it's over.
Right. And because we still go through things. So every day I have to manage the self-doubt. I have to manage the internal messenger of bullshit that I will definitely.
Monkey brain. Yeah.
Managing the pain and not allowing that. And then the ups and downs of running a business as well. Yeah. And so I practice all the tools, and, sometimes the joke around the house is, and so what would a resiliency ninja do? And
you just want to punch him in the face.
That's right. So anyhow,
I don't do that. It's just a suggestion.
No, I would not. And it's my mom, don't forget, right?
Oh, yeah, don't punch your mother.
What's that?
I said, don't punch your mother.
No, I wouldn't dare. She's a saint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the story with her, so people say like the married my mom. Well, I was told to go on disability by the doctors, and I just kind of said no. Yeah.
I saw here you said so I'm going to interrupt her for just a quick second, because Allison's got a terrific bio here that sort of gives the timeline of how crap went sideways. And she said by 2009, we're going to go back. So just to explain a little bit about what Allison's talking about is she went in for a simple surgery and came out with numerous complications, including permanent damage to her two main pelvic nerves. And even if you have no anatomy background, so I have a background in healthcare, understand that your pelvic nerves are affected every time you sit, stand, bend, whatever. They're all involved in that process or impacted by that process. So every time Allison moves, especially in an acute state, these nerves are going, no, I don't think so. I think we're going to make it really hard for you to function today. And so by 2009, doctors told Allison to go on government disability, take pain pills for the rest of her life, and give up on her professional expectations. I like this quote. Allison said, screw defeat. She set her sights on becoming a resiliency ninja. And here we are talking today. Yeah. Oh, your mom lives with you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so nice.
Well, it is lovely. I'm very thankful. But the reason she came, like I was a very independent, strong woman setting, ready to set the world on fire at 32 years old.
Yeah.
And my mom lived an hour and 10 minutes away, which was actually, in my opinion at the time, a perfect distance. Right? And now
I love you, Mommy.
So I love my mom. My dad had actually died 2 years before.
Yeah.
And so did my grandma. And so mom was very isolated back home too. She had a great life and her friends and everything, but she didn't have my dad. And so when the doctors were like, okay, this is serious and you need to get out of denial, because I just thought I was going to live on adrenaline and fight through the pain for the rest of my life. And they're like, that's not going to work. It's going to catch up with you.
Well, you have a finite amount of cortisol that your body will produce, and then you just go into a whole nother level of inflammation and yuckiness. So
yeah. And I was definitely hitting that burnout.
Yeah.
And so I really looked at it, because I was a business consultant, still am, on how to, and so I have a very business-like mind. And I'm like, all right, well, this is a problem, and we are going to fix the problem.
Right. My dog's joining us again.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm sorry, Winston's not here. Normally, for all of my calls, he's sitting in the back couch there.
Apparently, she needs to rearrange her bedding right now. So if you can hear that, I'm really sorry.
Totally good.
This is the fun of working from home as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. No. So, okay, we were talking about, where were we?
Mom,
yeah. So
consultant.
Yeah, one of the things was I can't do certain things anymore. So I can't hire a chauffeur.
Right.
So but I can ask Mom if she'll come to town and drive me to my clients 2.5 hours away so I can function, and then drive me home, and then so I can collapse. And,
she's like your Uber.
Yeah, she was totally my Uber.
She's your Uber.
Yeah. And then it morphed, right? She became, and anybody who's gone through difficult times will relate to this. She became my rock. She really became what I call my significant other. Like the conversations she and I would have would mirror, the conversations my friends were having with their husband.
Right.
And of course, my goal at the time was to find, but don't worry, I can't hear.
I love her so much, but seriously, this dog is just going to make me clinical. Any road.
They're such a source of joy, aren't they?
They're kind of like kids. They can go either way on a good day. So your mom is your mover, and you're having this conversation.
She became my rock. She became that person, and probably, I would say, the only person who knew the extent of everything that was happening.
Right. The level of your pain.
Right. And so what I would do is I would have a break, but then I wouldn't see people for, 6 months. So they may see me with a cast on my foot, but they weren't going to see me with a cast on both wrists. Right? Like I would split them up, because remember there were 8 breaks, right?
Oh, you weren't kidding.
Oh, no. Why do people always think I'm joking about that?
That's a lot of broken stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Knocking on, this is a nice teak desk. I think that qualifies as a good wood. So
at the beginning of 2015, I asked the universe
to stop breaking you?
Yes. I said, would you please nudge me in a more gentle direction?
Oh, that was very polite of you, because I would have been doing double barrels.
Yeah.
I'd been like, I'm done. I'm good. You've broken pretty much everything that I've got. So I don't really want to offer you anything else.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I don't know who that is, but we're just going to do that.
So, but I think I went through all that because the real thing I want to be sure that I get across is it's not about my story. I mean, we've all had shit happen to us.
Yeah.
It's about how do we choose to bounce back, and what can we do in the face of adversity or obstacles that are put in front of us or stress, and how can we better manage ourselves and the circumstances around us, even when we have no control.
So we understand now. So one of the things we try and do on the podcast is establish everybody's, it sounds so awful, like level of expertise or what have you. So we understand now where your resiliency is built from, which is awesome, because a lot of people would have collapsed instead of, standing up. So how did you end up coming to get connected with Spark?
Well, I was researching, I didn't even think I think I just saw it, and I heard about it last year, and then I reached out to Jason.
That little troublemaker.
I know, but I was relentless. I didn't stop because he's like, oh, I'd send him the information. And I'm like, so have you made a decision yet? And there was just something that drew me to it. I probably followed up with him like 7 or 8 times. And he's like, we haven't made a decision yet. We haven't made a decision yet. And I'm like, okay, but when you do. And I just felt like it's such an important conversation. I love how it's really an authentic experience. Like you don't have a lot of, sponsors and
there's no sponsors. So just to clarify what you're talking about, because Katie and I touched on this briefly, is that for Spark to Change, and again, I said the same thing to Katie, it sounds so awful. We don't accept just anyone. We're very picky about who gets in front of our audience because we want to make sure that it's not a 20-minute commercial and what have you. And we've been extremely fortunate to have such a high caliber of speakers so far that the reputation of Spark is set on that. Yeah. So just to let everybody know, Jason doesn't ignore people, but that's why it took 7-8 times, because we have to let everybody apply. And then we vet, like as a team, we go through and research the person and look over their talk and just see if it's going to fit and provide value to the people who are paying to come and be educated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why it takes that.
Right. And for the record, he was very polite the whole way through.
Oh, he is. Oh, no, he's a lovely little robot wrangler. Like I love him to death.
Yeah.
He also travels like a crazy person. So he's, I think he's either coming back right now from Helsinki or so, I don't know. He's all over the place.
Wasn't he in Amsterdam when we had our call last week or something? Like something?
Yes.
Or I don't know where he was. He was
down the road from Luke. It's kind of fun.
Right.
Jason was at the airport, Luke was at his house, and they were like 5 minutes apart. It was bizarre.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's very cool. So one of the things on the speakers call that you started talking about was people recognizing the continuum challenge, or the challenge continuum, and what you help them do through the Resiliency Ninja program, is that the right phraseology? Yeah. Sure. Is help them step into their full potential and overcome the self-doubt and the judgment. And, we all go through imposter syndrome and all of those things. And it's whether you allow those, the monkey brain time to prevent you from reaching your goals, or whether you recognize it for what it is and fill your toolbox with the things that you need to go, okay, it's okay that that's happening. It's okay that monkey brain is telling me I'm whatever. That's going to pass. And I'm going to keep moving forward anyway.
Exactly. And, it's a skill that takes some time to learn, I think. And you mentioned the continuum of challenges. And I think this is so vital, because I'll start when we talk about the Resiliency Ninja formula, talking about this. And it's so important. So your stress, your obstacles, and your adversity are 3 different buckets of challenge.
Absolutely.
And most of the time when we talk about stress, we do stress tests, we do all this kind of stuff. We bucket it all together.
Yeah.
As if we can deal with them all the same way. And so I used to be like that. I just treated everything was like stress. Well, no, grief and somebody who you care about dying is an adversity. It's never going back to the way it was before.
No.
And so I think that is one of the elements of this talk and this whole program for Resiliency Ninja that is resonating so well with people, because they're like, oh,
I get it.
That's why when I do this over here, it doesn't work over there.
Yeah. Well, it also here's an interesting thing, because my dad died when I was 20, and I was in my first year of my first time going to college, which I've now gone to college 3 times. I apparently just need to go there a lot. And I remember saying to my mom shortly after, probably about 2 months after he passed away, seriously, Brandy, go. She's trying to take off. She just keeps flapping. But saying to her, like, I'm having a really hard time, one, handling other people, because they would have these little petty whatevers. And I'd be like, really, you need some perspective. Mm-hmm. And I was not shy about voicing it that way. And she was terrific. And one of the best things that anybody said to me, 2 things that people said to me, I was so sick and tired of hearing I'm sorry, because that statement is more about how you feel than about how I feel.
Well, and I just said it. That's what our culture says.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And my friend Tammy's mom said to me, you know what? That just sucks.
Yes.
And such a release. I said, thank you so much for saying that, because that's exactly it. It just sucks. And then my mom said to me, well, of course you're having a hard time. I think you need to really understand what's happened here. Because there's that whole processing time, right? Of truly understanding the finality of the situation. And then I was an executor at 20, didn't know we were executors. All these, because it was very unexpected, and all these other complicating factors, going to school at the time, I was in an all-female residence. Don't ever do that. That's a lot of estrogen. And I think at that age, you don't have those tools. And if you don't make an effort to learn those tools throughout your life, you can have these things which are going to happen to you. I can't think of one person in my life who's never had a coconut thrown at them with no warning. It's going to derail you. It's going to mess things up and allow you to get off track. So you sharing your story is so important, because you're going to give that aha moment, that tool to somebody to say, oh, it's okay, I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and here's what I can do when I'm feeling that way.
It's interesting. I love the phrase you said where your friend Tammy's just said, that sucks.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And, the subtitle of this is how to be resilient when life sucks.
Oh, that worked.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. We've got about 2 minutes left.
So do we? So, yeah. Because I think, though, that's part of an important conversation, because you know what? Sometimes just that sucks.
Yeah.
And that's the reality we're living with. And so how do we move forward with it?
Yeah. And so to tie that into the whole agile change thing, which is not as remote as people might think, is that when somebody's coming into your organization and you've set things up a certain way, half the team might be very open to the changes that are being suggested, and others might just be completely knocked out of their comfort zone. And that then sets up a whole other series of blocks about accepting what's being said to you or learning from it or what have you. And if they're not given the tools before the change, then getting the buy-in to the change that you need as an organization and as a person, an agile or change management person going in and making those suggestions, you've just tripled your anxiety factor on getting people on board.
Absolutely.
So taking your tools and helping people to understand, look, yes, this is going to be disruptive. Here's how to manage those feelings. Here's who to talk to. This is why we're doing the stand-up coffees. This is why we're doing the check-ins with, the Kanban. And this is why we're doing these things, is to give you those tools to manage those feelings of, and get on with what you need to do.
And go.
Very cool. I'm very excited about this. I love those kinds of talks where you're you get inspired and educated at the same time. I love that.
Well, that's my hope. So I'm looking forward to being part of it and seeing everybody there.
What's high expectations? It's 2 weeks today.
Oh my goodness.
You will be 12 hours past done or something at this point in 3 weeks.
Wow.
I know. How cool is that?
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. So we are, this is somebody, I will call you back. So we are at, it's 2017.sparkthechange.ca if you'd like to check out the entire program. It's also where you go to register. On our speakers page, you can meet our speakers, and I'm looking at 2 screens, so that's why I'm doing that.
Sorry.
Meet our speakers and see who's coming up and read a little quick snippet of their bio. We're on Twitter at SparkConf, CONFTO. And then you can learn more about Allison at elevatebiz.com, which is very cool. You've got a lot of great videos to show you in action and talk about your book. And for the love of God, dog. And you also have an event coming up the next day on June 13th, back out in London, the Canadian Club of London. Yes,
I'm excited to speak there too, because I used to be on the board of the Canadian Club before all this happened, and now they've invited me to be their last speaker for the year. So,
and is this a new book as well, the Business Cards to Business Relationships?
That actually is my former book. So,
I need that.
Yeah, this one is all about how to network and how to build influence and get to the right tables. And
okay, so how do I get that?
That one is available on Amazon. Wiley published that, so you can get that through any book retailer. It's available. It's called From Business Cards to Business Relationships.
Well, I have a women in business networking group called Ballsy, and I'm leading a workshop tonight with Pam Mulhall, who's a focal point coach, on networking. And
wonderful.
My focus is on, people undervalue their online presence for networking and what they should be doing, using social media appropriately and whatever to build their network. So that's where I'm going to buy your book because I get a copy of the other ones.
I will bring a couple in my hand. For
you should.
I will.
Okay, cool. And then you can find Allison on LinkedIn, just under Allison Graham with 2 L's. And what else do we have? And your Facebook, Resiliency Ninja on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And you're at Resiliency Ninja for Twitter as well, right?
Well, Allison D. Graham. So I own Resiliency Ninja, but everything's Allison D. Graham. And
we'll talk about branding off air.
We will. Well, there's a reason for it though, because remember, I still have the Elevate Biz. So Elevate Biz, Elevate Your Life is the Resiliency Ninja.
Right.
Double Your Business is Elevate Biz. So I'm doing both streams because I still have all my business and corporate clients.
We'll talk. It's okay. We'll figure it out. It's all good. So thank you so much for joining me. You have been your speaker number 3 today, which has been awesome. So with Spark the Change, we have speakers coming in from Washington, from London, Ontario, from Belgium, from, I think Paul's coming in from Boulder, Colorado. Boulder, Colorado. And I've had coffee today. You think this shouldn't be happening. So we've got a really diverse and international group that's coming in to meet in Toronto and gather at the ROM and play with the dinosaurs and spark change and all that great stuff. So any final wise words? What's something that somebody could do today to be a resiliency ninja? Put you on the spot.
Listen to what they're saying inside their head and catching themselves when the internal messenger of bullshit is showing up and telling lies.
Dun, dun, dun. I like it.
Then fa-cha that out of the way.
We're going to karate chop the shit out of that.
That's right.
That's the one swear word today. Yay. Just one today. So thank you so much for joining me, Allison. I really appreciate it. And like I say, guys, 3 weeks today, you'll be able to come to Spark the Change and meet Allison on Monday anyway. And she's zipping off Monday night to go and inspire some more people in London, which is awesome. And you get to meet the whole team. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening, and please visit us at sparkthechangetoronto.ca to learn more, or you can follow us on Twitter at SparkConfTO.